Help me to help you. We get a lot of questions and we want to help. I mean, I really do. I answer probably 99.9% of the questions on our channels, and I really want to help. But sometimes there's no way to actually answer the question that was asked. And it's difficult because I want to communicate this to you guys, what we need in order to be able to help. Like an example question, my brew stopped, what should I do? Well, here's the problem. That has so many ways that it could go. Without any more information, I don't know, did it ever start? Is it stalled? Is it stopped? What do you mean by stopped? Are you just looking at it through a bucket? Are you looking at an airlock? Is it sealed well? All sorts of questions come up that can tell me so much more. So things that are very often missing when people ask questions. Gravity readings. Some people say they don't like to take them, but if you don't have a gravity reading, it's very difficult for us to be able to help you. No recipe. Without a recipe and no gravity readings, man, we're flying blind. Sometimes with just gravity readings, I can help, but it's still really good to know what you're talking about, because a mead versus a beer versus a wine versus a cider, they could be slightly different things. Batch size, super important. I've had people say, I used 15 pounds of honey and it stalled. What happened? Okay, did you make 1 gallon or 5 gallons? Because the answer to that question is very, very different depending on what you did. Timeline. This is also something that's vastly overlooked. People will say, oh, well, I started a brew and nothing's happening. Okay, well, how long has it been? Because if it's been 1 day, the answer is very different than if it's been 1 month. And other things that you might have done, like the process. What have you done to it? Did you add nutrients? Did you stir it? Did you swirl it? All these kind of things are super important. Here's a few real examples that have actually been said to us. And I'm not picking on anyone. I'm actually trying to help. I just want you guys to see it from our perspective, how different this comes across. My brew stopped fermenting. No other information. There's nothing else there's nothing I can do with that. It tastes weird. That's one of my favorites. My brew tastes funny. Okay. How does it taste? Describe it to us. What are you seeing? What are you experiencing? Why is this happening? And it could be any number of things that we're asked about. Now, I want to point something out too. We started doing something on the Beyond the Brews channel where you can actually make posts with images. That's always been a limitation of YouTube, where you couldn't show us something. Now on the Beyond the Brews channel, you can. Somebody actually tested it for us the other day. It works. But back to the, not enough information. Why is this a problem? See, brewing is context dependent. The same symptom does not necessarily always mean the same cause. Like, for example, my brew stopped fermenting, or my brew isn't fermenting. They're two different things, but let's just analyze that for a second. If you tell me everything, but you don't tell me that you just started it 2 hours ago and it's not fermenting, I'm going to think, oh, maybe you have a stall, maybe you have dead yeast, things like that. But if you tell me it's only been 2 hours, I'm going to say give it up to 3 days because it probably hasn't had a chance to start yet. Very different things. Context is everything. And also, stopped fermenting could mean it stalled, it's done, or it never started. So all these things come into play. It's kind of like calling up a mechanic and saying, my car's making noise. The mechanic says, okay, what kind of noise? And not being able to describe the noise or where it's coming from or what causes it or anything about the noise. Just, it makes a noise. It's very difficult to fix that problem because they have no idea what it is or even to analyze it. But the mechanic has an advantage. They can say, bring it in, let's take a look at it. So let's make a core info checklist. I'm not saying that you have to be perfect. I'm not saying that you have to give all this information every time, but give as much as you possibly can when you're asking a question if you want us to be able to really help you. The first thing is you're starting gravity. And for all those people that say that they don't take gravity readings because they don't think it's cool or our ancestors never did or anything like that. But you know what? Your ancestors also didn't have the internet to be able to ask questions when things go wrong. So take gravity readings. It's like no big deal. We do it all the time on purpose. And we were hoping that people caught on to that and started doing it too. I also need the current gravity. Like, where is it now? So now we know where it started from and we know where it's at. Those 2 points give us a lot of information. Batch size, super critical. How much did you make? Because, like I said earlier, 15 pounds of honey in 5 gallons is only 3 pounds per gallon, but 15 pounds in 1 gallon wouldn't actually be possible because a gallon is 12 pounds of honey. But you get the point, okay? Knowing how much you're making matters a lot for the next thing, and that is your ingredients or your recipe. I need to know what you put in it, everything. Every single thing that you put in and how much. A lot of people will say, oh, I put in a bunch of honey or a bunch of sugar. That's not good enough. But if you took a reading afterwards and you mixed it properly, now we can fill in the blanks of some of that information. The yeast you used, this is actually really important. A lot of people will change out the yeast from our recipe, and it's totally fine to do that. But there are times that it makes a big, big difference. Like for instance, my grocery store mead and wine series. We used Fleischmann's bread yeast because it goes to like 11.5 to 12%. Those are intended to stop before all the sugars are consumed. Several people have tried to use EC 1118 or even 71B and some others that have a higher tolerance. So they went dry and they couldn't understand why it didn't come out the same as ours. Well, that's because they used a different yeast that had different specifications. Sometimes the flavors will be a little bit different too, but a lot of times the alcohol tolerance is what makes a huge difference. Timeline. When did you start? How long has it been going? Did you notice anything happening for a period of time? Was it bubbling and then it stopped? How long did it bubble? How long did it not bubble? But don't count bubbles. That's super not important. It just means that something did happen at some point and there is gas in there, or there's a pressure differential. That's all it really means. You can actually take water with an airlock on it and just put it in a warmer place. It'll actually start to bubble. What did you do to it? Did you rack it? Did you remove anything? Did you add anything? Did you use nutrients? Did you add any clarifiers? Did you do anything at all? Spices, herbs, anything you did, tell us. That way we can determine if that's important and be able to see if maybe that's part of the problem. With all that information, we can actually help you. And here's the thing. If you're taking notes, you probably have all that information anyway, don't you? But at the end of the day, we want to help. The community at large wants to help. Here's the key takeaway. Better info equals better answers. Better answers equals better brews. As always, guys, thanks so much for watching. Have a great day.